Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Cat Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shadows of the Valley, our Legend of Five Rings campaign. John, storyteller for the evening, and with me today is Jeremy.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I am playing I'm playing somebody, and he's an investigator.
Hisoka.
Thank you. I woke up 40 minutes ago.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Kakita Irie, Crane Clan duelist.
And Aaron.
I like that you weren't sure I was here.
No, I was.
Hi,
doing
I'm
this
playing Yase Hinata, and I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Yes.
So.
I was fixing my microphone.
Longer than that.
Something is wrong with you people in Portland.
You were awake before I went to bed.
Conversation last night.
And also Jack.
Hi everybody, I'm Jack. I am playing Nakano Hayato, the Shisoro infiltrator of the Scorpion Clan.
And William.
I'm William, and I am playing Renakane, the Crab Clan Berserker.
And when last we left our investigative squad, they had left the town of Tengoku no Mizumi, or the Lake of the Heavens, where they had been investigating the death of a bandit they had captured, who was killed by someone apparently named Akujin, which Renakane recognized as a name that's more of a title, really, that very powerful lost those samurai who have been taken by the Shadowlands taint tend to take upon. They investigated the catacombs beneath the citadel of Tengoku no Mizumi, where the Dragon Clan monks resided in this particular valley, discovering that there was a revenant that had apparently been left behind, theoretically by whoever stole the scroll initially, as was theorized by Nakano Hayato. They opted to reseal the revenant after beheading it and defeating it, rather than inform the monks there, just in case that whoever was behind the theft still had access to the information that the monks did, and thus would know they were onto him. So they left, heading towards Kawanofutago to resume their initial objective of securing the town and its surrounding area and discovering what was happening with the missing bandits, although they seemed to have discovered, or with the missing farmers, not bandits. Bandits were involved, though. They seemed to have a lead heading into the mountains north of the village, but they were going to head to the village first. And on their way, something caught the eye of Kakita Airi, who decided to investigate and found herself trapped in a snare, which then led the rest of the group to discovering... there's no snare in my headphones. Who found the rest of the group to discovering a headless body hanging from a tree. And that's where we left off, and that's where we pick up.
Fascinating.
Not another one.
This one appears to be in...
Go approach the body.
Does it seem significantly similar to the other version?
I mean, it's still in the tree, I think, right now.
No, I mean, Does the head look popped?
There's no head. It doesn't. So give me an investigation roll, buddy.
Okay, never
Does
mind.
the neck look?
Give me an investigation roll.
Does it look like there's popped head blood on the ground? Given that this was pointed out to us recently.
There is blood on the ground, but an investigation check will need you to determine.
Okay.
With my free raise.
10.
20.
Anyone else
I see
investigating?
nothing.
Yeah.
Hayato will take a look.
That's all I got.
An 18.
That's an 8.
28.
Hayato, there's no blood in the
Damn.
body. So, Idri, I mean, you find where the snare is sort of tied in, and you're over there, so you can drop the body at any time if you want. Hinata, Akane, and Hisoka, you go to investigate the body itself, and the first thing you notice is that there are no bits of head anywhere around, much like there was with the previous beheaded body that you found. So you're pretty confident that it wasn't a beheading. Hisoka and Hinata,
Or that it wasn't done
or
here.
that it wasn't a crushed thing, or at least that it wasn't done here. Hisoka and Hinata, you do not notice any additional blood trail.
Even with my free raise?
Even with your free raise, you do not notice any
Okay.
additional blood trail, which would indicate to the two of you that this was probably beheaded where he's at. There's no, like, drag
Is
marks
it
or anything like that.
Sort of obvious what kind of weapon might have been used to do this, or does it look
and
like it's just
with
ripped?
with your 28, Hinata, you actually get up a little bit closer and look, and the skin and spine that is poking out from the neck stump have been very cleanly sheared. So it seems like this person was beheaded by a very sharp weapon.
Cool.
So we're thinking probably that somebody just kind of pinated this guy. Male or female, actually?
Male, and
Okay.
both Hisoka, Hinata, and Akane recognize this outfit as being very similar to the bandits you guys had fought previously.
Very similar, or one of
Could
the
it
bandits
be
we
one
had
of
fought
our
previously?
runaways?
I mean, very similar. None of you got a real good look. None of you got a look at the one guy that ran away because he was in a tree. The only person that actually saw him was Hayato.
And I was busy getting arrows in
Did
myself.
we injure him?
No, the
one-
archer, we did not.
Okay. How did I get caught in that snare again? Was there...
You walked into it.
Yeah, but I went to look at something.
Yeah.
What did I go to look?
It seems like the way the snare had been set was in such a way that it was visible but not obvious, and so
Okay.
it intrigued you and you walked over to it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
like try and scan around, see if there's any other snares in this area or just those two.
Sure, give me an investigation roll.
Well,
The price of retreating from battle, it looks like.
21.
Yeah, you see about 3 or 4 other snares that have not yet been triggered.
Well, there are more unsprung traps around. So,
How many?
Caution would seem advisable then.
I'll point out the ones that I see.
Okay.
4 more that I can notice. But yeah, watch your step.
And these are these snares are within the wood line, so going back to the road would be all you'd need to do to avoid them.
Okay.
You already decapitated your victim. Do you just not take the time to get rid of the excess snares, or
It
hoping
may be
to
a warning.
catch?
Yeah.
No, that works.
Should we trigger these so that no one else gets caught in them?
I mean, you can cut them without triggering them, but...
I would leave them intact, were the option given to myself.
Why?
Based on the conclusions that the rest of your observations have produced, it seems that whoever monitors these snares has a common foe with us. This individual, based on his clothing, seems to be one of our enemies, one of the bandits, and if these snares are meant to apprehend criminals and individuals who are not contributing to the society in the proper fashion, I say let them be.
What if this was a
One
punishment?
etiquette check.
Yeah, no.
Sure. Give me an etiquette check.
11. Jeez.
Can I do an etiquette check as well?
Sure.
I'll etiquette
Sure.
check.
Anyone who wants to etiquette check can etiquette check.
Would my
I mean, I feel
courtesy
like-
Sure, why not?
would my courtesy emphasis apply?
No, this would not be courtesy.
That's a 22.
For me, does this look more like
21.
say Akujin punishing someone who fled from a fight, or
Yeah, that's
because to me it seems like if it was someone who was of society trying to capture someone, they would have taken the body down and disposed of it rather than leaving it there.
What's the Rokugani equivalent of Frank Castle?
So,
Because his name is going to come up in this following discussion, I guarantee it.
starting from lowest to highest. Hinata with the 11. You're thinking that this seems like something that guards should be dealing with, and guards don't put snares out. Guards chase people with spears and eventually corner them in something and then stab them if they don't come peacefully. Hayato, Airi, pretty much the same thing there. Hisoka and Hayato, you got, both of you, it's kind of like in the King's, you don't hunt in the King's Forest. You don't you don't vigilante in the clan's territory.
Exactly.
If you are defending yourself, that's one thing, and that's acceptable. If you go through basically assuming the role of law enforcement, then that is basically saying that the law enforcement in this area is inept.
Okay.
Like which is a direct insult to the lord of the land, the guards of the land, the samurai of the land, etc., 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 etc.
Yeah,
I
was already in the
not have been
he
quite
was
as
in the process of moving over to go cut these things.
And that is something with a 22. That's something you would have known. So I will let you retract that statement if you would like, Jack.
I think Hayato would. Yeah, no, he would kind of glance around and he will, however, still lead off with we should leave them intact. Follow that up with we may find use for these tools in the future rather than simply destroying usable equipment.
How so?
Should our
Isn't trap laying a low skill in just... Sorry, I don't know.
No, trap laying is not a low skill.
Okay.
It's probably either a merchant. It's probably a merchant skill.
No, it's hunting.
It's hunting. Yeah,
I can do that thing.
Should our investigation require us to pursue these individuals into the further reaches of the territory, away from civilization, these tools can be used to garner resources, food and the like, or even potentially to protect our campsites or places of lodging if we are deeper within the forests.
I mean, sure.
So
either way, we're taking them down.
Yes.
Of course.
There's our first, of course, of them.
Are we keeping track of that?
I feel like there needs to be like a counter in the corner, just like the Destiny.
Yeah, can we just get like the exclamation point of course command on the bot in chat?
No. I was gonna make a joke, but no. So you guys take down the snares and maintaining their integrity so that the rope might be used in the future.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, it's fairly they're fairly simplistic once you know where they're at to take them down. Snares tend to be simple to take down. It's the hidden nature of them that makes them tricky.
And I'm assuming
related etiquette check. Do I know what like the thing a samurai is supposed to do when confronted with headless corpse? Like, do we call the body disposal people?
That doesn't require a etiquette check. You take any sort of identifying mark so that you can notify the next of kin, and then bury, seal, or burn the body.
Yep.
Preferably in that order.
Now, or it's comma or, depending on where you're at. For Dragon Clan, burn the fucker. But for everybody else, the different things.
I mean, for Crab Clan, also burn it, but
Crab Clan, throw it on a pyre, then burn it.
I feel like preferably in that order is the Crab Clan version of events.
Well, given that it's midwinter with snow on the ground, burn is pretty much our only option at this point because that ground is frozen as fuck.
Yeah. So you guys take the body down. Anyone who wants to can give me an investigation check on the body to find identifying things or anything like that.
Damn Skippy.
8.
13.
I am not an investigator.
27.
26.
So
they are investigators.
You guys sort of go through this. This person has nothing.
Mage.
This person has nothing.
Please say you're an investigator, so it doesn't make me feel bad about the one thing that I can do well.
Look, for you get an additional raise, which means that your roll was technically better than mine.
Your roll, even if you
my
roll
was
lower,
a 31.
The equivalent of a 36.
So you guys, you guys. Hayato, you start patting him down, and you don't find anything in particular. Hisoka and Hinata, both of your eyes are sort of drawn to this man's left arm, just looking underneath the sleeve, and you sort of grab his wrist and roll the sleeve up, and both of you see a tattoo, on the back end of the bicep, or backside of the bicep, of a black widow spider.
I recognize that tattoo.
I mean, I'm going to guess, just on a complete whim, that is something related to Spider Clan.
That's probably a good guess, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where that came to me, but...
What do I do with the spider tattoo? I don't know. Yeah, so you find that.
I know they had come up previously in this whole investigation.
The bandit, the Ronin, that was sort of leading the bandit group had Spider Clan colors.
Yeah. So further evidence that person is related to that group.
The Spider Clan has journeyed awfully far to get here, all the way across Dragonland.
If the rumors that I have heard of the Spider Clan are true, one can find them almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Once one turns over the proper stones.
I don't think they specifically journeyed here as much as here is just where they happen to end up.
They did not come here. Here is where they be. Is what Hisoka just said.
Yeah, exactly. It makes complete sense, and I will.
It does.
Here there be Spider Clan.
Right.
Mark on the map.
Sweet Araignée.
I feel like that is just taking the entire map and just blacking it all out.
So you guys have the rope for 6 snares.
Okay.
And very simple bits of wood that were used to hold everything in place.
Mm-hmm.
And a apparently Spider Clan headless corpse.
So what are we going to do with the body?
Burn it.
Burn it.
How do we notify the next of kin?
What next of kin? It's a member of the Spider Clan.
There's still a next of kin. That said, I don't know if we can identify who the next of kin is because we don't have a face to. And fingerprinting probably has not been invented yet.
And you generally don't walk up to somebody and be like, hey, did you have like an uncle or a cousin or somebody with a black spider tattoo right about, No, not you guys? All right, we'll check the next house.
I mean, I will record basic identifying information about physical, height, etc.
Yeah.
As Hisoka says that.
He didn't say that. He starts doing it.
Oh, okay. Hayato's also got a small notebook out and is just sort of putting it away very quickly.
just add about 6 inches on for estimated where his head used to be.
Log stare.
Somewhere between 5'4" and 5'8". You're assuming based on the size. It's hard to
say that I did.
Hard to tell without a head.
No jewelry, bracelets, necklace, or anything.
And you don't have the gall to have someone lay down next to the body, so you can get a more accurate measurement.
6 inches? How big are heads in your world?
That's what I'm thinking.
Somewhere between 5'4" and 5'8". You can't get an accurate height, obviously. Male, thinly built, from what you can determine, fairly young, not so old that the body has begun to develop the obvious signs of age.
Okay.
So somewhere between 18 and 32. As far as you can guess.
Oh,
neither short nor tall, neither old nor young.
Last, just before we, Hinata will check. Do the fingers, because we know this person's Spider Clan, I'm a little more okay with this. Do the fingers' hands look like someone who's got the calluses of archery?
Yes. Interestingly, the hands are fairly calloused, and the left hand is missing the ring finger.
He's an assassin! Well, we knew that already.
I'll point that out. But
it looks like it's been missing the ring finger for a long time as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like somebody just cut it off.
I know, but we're trying to get identifying features, and if the ring finger's been missing for a while, that's...
Yep.
Man, I thought the Italians did away with that practice.
How many fingers are on your left hand?
This is much earlier than the Italian Renaissance, William.
I know.
I was gonna say that they are not the only crime people that did that.
That was specifically an Assassin's Creed reference.
Yep.
Anyway.
You have...
Hayato will assist with the burning of the body as needed.
Yep. Once they get all the details.
Yeah, you guys dig a pit, light the body. It burns. You all.
How much smoke does it produce?
How much smoke does a human body produce when it goes up in flames?
A fair amount.
Yep.
That much.
Okay.
That sounded bad.
Yeah, I thought about answering.
The fact that Jeremy and I were just like, yeah, pretty reasonable.
We
just hear casual answers from Jeremy and Jack as Mara's like,
I'm going to pretend I'm not a horrific person.
There's a
depends on how much fat, but percent body fat there is.
You do notice that the smoke appears to be a bit darker than you would expect it to be.
Okay.
Well,
that's the thing. What does that mean?
It means that the evidence of our passing will be visible for quite some time.
I mean, I'm more specifically determined as why is the smoke darker than it normally be?
Shadowlands taint.
Yeah, you can give me a lore roll if you want.
Lore something specific.
Lore Shadowlands.
I look at the piece of jade medicine. I have now.
Lore Shadowlands or lore medicine would be the.
Damn it! I don't have lore medicine, just medicine.
Yes, I did. I bought Shadowlands lore last week.
Or an unskilled lore roll. An unskilled lore roll can also be made.
7.
12.
So 7, you're not quite sure why it's burning darker than it should, Hisoka. Akane and Hinata, yes, Shadowlands taint will cause the body to the smoke coming off the body to burn darker than it normally would.
The person who fights taint and the person who senses it with magic knew that. Yeah. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm looking at the piece of jade in my hand to see if it's gone weird and cracked. Because I know that's a thing now.
It is not doing anything currently. It is bright green still.
Okay. Still nervous.
About how far away are we from Kawa no Futago?
You're roughly the fork between Tengoku Izumi and Kawa no Futago.
I did tell you that a single finger of jade will last you for 7 whole days in the Shadowlands proper, however.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a whole thing that I am not used to.
So you guys are about half a day left from Kawa no Futago.
Well, Kisaki-sama, shall we continue?
Yes.
You guys get back on the road?
Yes, we shall.
And continue to head north.
I assume we're all still on foot, right?
Yeah, you're also on foot.
Okay.
On the road again.
And after so you have several hours on the road. If there's anything you guys wish to do while on your journey, but you will eventually arrive at Kawa no Futago. So before we get there, anything?
Not for Hayato, I think. He's just mostly going to be keeping an eye out and trying to make sure that nothing else sneaks up on us.
Right. So, if no one else has anything,
nope.
Right. As you come down the hill, heading towards the bridge that crosses the first river of Kawa no Futago, you see in the distance the rice fields and various other farming institutes of Kawa no Futago laid out between the rivers and around them. A couple of them on the side that you're approaching from. They are currently covered in snow and not being in use, but you do see that there are still livestock being tended to on the farms where the crops are not currently growing. At least those that aren't hardy enough to survive winter, which most of the crops grown here aren't. You see farmers of various sizes and descriptions tending to their livestock as you approach the bridge. And you cross it into the town proper. Kawa no Futago is much more rural than Tengoku no Mizumi was, where Tengoku no Mizumi had proper walls and paved roads and building, like sort of an infrastructure style to their building. Kawa no Futago is far more sprawled out. Houses are basically put wherever there was room for a house, and not built much more than a single story. In fact, the only buildings that you see that are more than a single story high are the inn, which is sort of located in the middle of the town, and then the magistrate's office, which is located nearby. The people are all bundled up warmly, wandering around. There are conversations happening in the street. and those people that aren't currently working out in the fields. And you have arrived.
Sweet.
So we know that Tadashi Midori was here recently asking questions. The monk.
Yes.
And there's been an increase of wolves.
Was Hayato around to know who Tadashi Midori was?
Yes, you actually stepped off and spoke to her. That was there was information I gave you in Slack, I think.
Ah, yes. Okay, that's the one.
Yeah. You stepped off and you stepped away and spoke with her. Actually.
Okay. Good.
So,
Clearly, it's not wolves. But we should ask the local magistrate.
yes, that was
I think.
going to introduce herself to those in charge was the next step, plan, thingamajigger.
Okay. So you guys go to speak with the magistrate here in Kamado Futago. You head up to the building. You're let in, obviously, because you are a recognizable individual. And you are met by one Kitsuki Shin, a fairly middle-aged looking man, lean with a sort of a scar on his face going from his temple down to his chin, and his hair sort of cropped close and in a top knot behind. Looking at sort of bows in greeting. Kisaki Hisoka-san.
Yes.
How may I assist you?
We are looking into the disappearances of people from here. We understand that that somebody had already come here from that other place. Yes. Investigating. But we're here in a somewhat more official, more resources capacity, and I would love to get your perspective on it to start.
Certainly. Please come into my office, and he will lead the way into a rice wall writing room. Close the door behind you all and sit and indicate where there are cushions on the floor for you all to sit.
Hayato remains standing by the door.
Step around to the other side of the desk and sit down himself, producing some papers. Yes, roughly a few weeks ago, we started noticing that some of the more outlying farms were losing farmhands, and he produces these documentation, specifically in the north, in the shadow of the mountains, and across the river to the east. We were losing at first just farmhands, one or two on occasion. We initially wrote them off as wolf attacks, but when we weren't able to find any evidence of that, we began investigating more thoroughly, and that's when we sent a request to your father for further assistance. The monk who was here earlier was not investigating the same thing.
No, it was a little bit different.
Yes, but she did not stay very long. I believe her investigation was concluded within the span of a few days, and then she returned to Tengoku no Mizumi. I do not know fully the results of her investigation. She did not share it with us.
Right.
So he's saying north and east, back sort of the way we came originally?
East across the river, towards the forest, and then north towards the mountains.
Okay.
So, has there been that you have seen any patterns to this frequency? The people being who've disappeared.
Mostly it's been
anything?
farmhands.
Mhm.
Young,
Right.
healthy, typically no more than 20, 21 years old.
Mm.
We haven't been able to devote too terribly many resources to investigating it because our guard is spread thin enough as it is with the size
Yes,
of
of
the town.
course. Yeah.
Universally male. No female farmhands have been reported missing.
Okay. And frequency. Any particular
In the past
weeks?
In the past 3 weeks, we have lost 10 people. It seems to be in individuals going missing from separate farms, but never, never the same, never 2 days in a row. It seems to be. He pulls out the paper and goes through it. And basically, what you end up looking through the papers, what you find out is basically, one night, 3 people will go missing. Then 2 or 3 nights later, 2 more people will go missing. Then 2 or 3 nights later, 3 more people will go missing.
Okay.
Is it like the same time generally, or
it tends to be at the last known location of all these individuals was just before dusk. So after dusk is when it's happening.
Precision timing, not really a pre-industrial thing that most people have access to.
Right.
But there's a difference between after dusk and witching hour and just before dawn.
Yep.
After dusk is the most accurate time frame they have.
Yeah.
Which eliminates 12 hours, but
Okay.
Yeah.
And he said 10 people missing within the last 3 weeks. Is it a total of 10 people that have gone missing, or are there more previous?
Total of 10 people.
Total of 10 people, okay. And what's the... Hayato would kind of frame his request through Hisoka, probably. But what is the best guess as to the total population of Kawano Futako?
Kawano Futako has a population of about 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, because 10 out of 1,000 is different than 10 out of 200.
Yeah.
Right.
How many of them are farmhands?
Roughly a little over half the population work on the farms.
Okay.
Well, if you could provide the locations of the specific farms where this happened.
He does so.
Are they? You said there was what, north and west?
North and east. North near
east.
the mountains, east across the river near the forest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we will get those.
Do they the patterns do when there's multiple people going missing on the same day, are they like in one of those regions, either north or east, or is it like back and forth across that river?
Doesn't seem to be a pattern in that instance, no.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, now I'm slightly confused. When there's multiple people that go missing at once, are they all individuals in separate places?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So people are specifically going missing when they are alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Curiosity question. When they go like 3 go missing one night, it has it been all from one of the 2 regions?
No.
Or is it like 2 from north and 1 from east?
Yeah, like
and
one from.
So
yeah,
they clearly can.
east. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Type.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
They are not. None of the people that have been taken were taken from the same farm, and whenever there's more than one being taken, which I think is every except for the occasional night, it's mostly 2 or 3 people at a time.
Okay.
And it's always from different locations. Different like if it's 2, 1 will be from east, 1 will be from north. If it's 3, 2 from one, 1 from the other.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everybody else, really quick, see if there's anything.
There's no pattern as far as like the last date that it happened. There's no pattern as far as like how the dates stretch out. You said they're just not one night to another.
Yeah. There's they're not one after the other, correct.
No noticeable connection other than farmhands.
No,
that
but
you
does
have seen thus far.
Not
Yes,
that
obviously.
we've been able to see, but that does connect more than half of the population. So.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I was. Narrow that down. Cool.
I mean, well, also that they're young, like young farmhands,
yes,
not
young
farmhands,
men.
all male. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go start looking into.
Requests that you keep him abridged to your findings, and then excuses himself because he has other duties to attend to, and leaves the room.
Cool.
Kasaki-san, how are we going to proceed?
Well, we can't watch all of the farms. And if we cannot detect a pattern and predict, yes. Yes?
The GM question, I didn't want to interrupt.
What's up?
So how many outlying farms are there?
You guys saw about 6 on your way in from the east side. You haven't seen the
I thought we had
side.
a map.
You have a map of the valley, but it's not like an accurate map of Common Otago. You saw about 6 coming in as you were on your way in, with a few more further out along the tree line. You imagine there's probably more to the north because there's more room along the rivers.
I mean, if it's a population of 1,000. Half are farmhands. That's a lot of farms.
Yeah.
If it's all individually run farms, which was not my.
I mean, yes, but even if not.
But
no.
even 10 people to a farm, that's a lot of.
You
farms.
can imagine each farm has between 10 and 20 hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big farms.
I'm not going to try and do that math. But most of the farms are presumably centrally located. That's how central location works.
Right.
If there are no repeats, we could potentially. I defer to. Kisoka has a family name.
Kisaki.
Kisaki-san's expertise, of course, we could potentially figure out which might be likely targets, though that still is probably too many to watch.
Still, yeah, it's still quite a shot in the dark.
Though
I feel like
if
our best track right now is to see if we can figure out some pattern between the people that were taken so far. It's 10. That's a reasonable number that we can look into these people. See if it was a matter of see if there's anything. There has to be a reason that these people specifically were taken. It could just be they happened to be alone at that point, but it could be I am assuming that at some point there was an older man or a woman who was alone at some point on one of these farms that could have been taken, wasn't there? There is a pattern, even if it is a vague pattern. I would like to narrow that down.
We are, however, overlooking one very important aspect of this situation that may need to be investigated first.
Okay.
I am, of course, no expert, but where shall we be sleeping?
That is a good question.
Sorry,
Where
Hayato's kind of salty today.
Oh, it's fine. He's totally on his...
We don't want to impose on someone.
He's got his mind on the mission, so it makes sense.
Someone referenced an inn at some point. I genuinely don't remember if that was an actual description or a joke.
Yes, there is an inn. There is an inn fairly close to the magistrate's office.
There we go.
The only other two-story building in town.
Akane kind of coughs, kind of speaking out for the first time since she's gotten here. So, if I might make a note, we've got too many farms to watch over, and we don't know when the next attack will be. But we do know the target audience that's being kidnapped, and if I might say, we have two people here who might fit that demographic.
Question.
Yes.
Assuming posing as a farmhand is not particularly noble.
Oh, that is low skill as hell.
I was gonna say.
She's legitimately not being insulting. She's referring to young males.
Yes.
No,
We know that Akane is not being purposely insulting. It's just
actually,
like,
no. It is not. Acting would be the role, which is not a low skill; it's a high skill.
That's true.
That is true.
Is like theater and shit.
Acting is disguising yourself as it's most often used in theater, yes, but it is also something that can be used in other locations, in other instances.
What I'm saying is the soldiers from Mulan did not get dishonored for pretending to be women to get to the capture.
Mulan was a very particular
Did you forget
instance.
the whole dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow?
That was because Mulan was a girl.
I mean,
and that was China. That was the whole thing of the story.
Acting would be the appropriate skill, and it would not.
I would argue that perhaps the Disney movie is not where we should turn.
I know.
Also true.
Look, this is a really weird fantasy setting, and none of us know the rules.
Also, the Disney setting of China, as opposed to the fantasy setting of Japan.
The weirdly Korean Japan.
It's true. It's true. But no, disguising yourself as someone else would not be a low skill. It would be acting.
No.
Okay, that's what I was checking on. Now, the inference that someone should pretend to be a farmhand and the noble person might still not get along, but
that's based on person to person. In that case, there's
Yes.
no societal necessity in play here.
okay.
I feel like there's a long point of time. I feel like with as many potential farms as we have to cover, putting out two people as bait would be the very definition of needle in a haystack.
We know where they're coming from. We can position ourselves as the most obvious targets on the furthest edge of the farms.
Also, I want everybody to give me a intelligence roll.
Intelligence?
Flat intelligence.
We don't know when they're coming next. Intelligence.
22.
12.
17.
10.
Everyone got
I'm
10 or
the
higher.
dummy.
Everyone got 10 or
I am
higher.
smart.
That's fine. You all made it. Oh no, Irie didn't. Irie's like, this is. The other four of you, while yes, you don't know when they are coming. You do know when they don't come, and you did rescue a group of merchants from being kidnapped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be coming tonight.
Or
Wait, why?
probably the night after. Because it seems to be 2 to 3 days, but there were a lot of threes in there.
I mean, given we know the night, perhaps we could, as a preventative measure, recommend to the farmers on the outer farms that they have a girls' night.
I was going to say that they not have that they not have people out alone, but there's also that.
But in the meantime, we should ask questions.
Yes. Go look into these
As you said.
individuals.
Yes.
You have a list of farms. There are 10 farms that people have gone missing from.
Yep.
There's a minimum of like 25 farms. Considering like they got 10 to 20, assuming there's max of 20 and it's 1,000 and roughly half the population, roughly 500, there's about 25 farms minimum.
Little over half the population are farmers.
That's why I said minimum.
Yes, but there's only 10 people have been taken.
Yeah,
That's
we've still
10
got
farms.
Yeah, we've got.
What he's saying is there are a lot of farms.
Yes.
What I'm saying is there's a lot of farms.
There's a lot of farms.
So the sun is still up, but it is dipping down towards the horizon. You guys step out of the magistrate's office. What is your next step?
We're going to ask questions
We
before
should
the day
probably
ends.
at least put in our residence at the inn before we head out.
What time is
If
it right
we're
now?
heading out tonight.
The sun is dipping towards dusk.
And how far?
And we started early because we had a
Yeah,
decapitated corpse this morning.
You started
Yes.
before dawn,
Yeah, we've been
and
up.
it is approaching dusk.
Mm-hmm. And we've been walking through the snow all fucking day.
Mhm.
We
We're
are
tired.
probably exhausted.
Been exerting yourself a good
I'm
deal.
17 years old. I have energy that lasts for days.
I know the young ones are probably still fine, but the older
Yeah.
ones are a little bit more sore right now.
Yeah.
I remember those halcyon days.
Also,
You don't remember them all that well if you think that after trekking through the snow all day, you're just peachy.
Oh no, you're
No,
not.
cranky.
But you
Salty.
hit your like 8th wind at some point,
It's true.
and
you
you're
know.
like, I'm fine. Let's.
No, I can do this.
But Akane is like, also, I acknowledge my own strengths and flaws, and talking to people in a friendly manner is not my strength. And I've been trekking for most of the day. I am exhausted. I think perhaps those of you more personable may wish to investigate while those of us more exhausted find a place to rest.
Yes, no, that is
Oh, I'm
exactly
fine.
what I was going to suggest. Was
Very true.
that perhaps perhaps you some of us start off in what we're looking into, and the others get us set up at the end.
Nakano, would you care to join me in finding rooms?
Very well.
Right. So Renakane and Nakano Hayato head to the inn. The rest of you, I assume, are heading out to talk to people. So we'll start with Ren and Nakano. The two of you step
So
over.
I'm certainly glad we let our combat monsters.
Yes, this isn't
We've
possibly
still
going to
got
end
one.
badly.
Still got one.
Yeah, no, we still have one. I'm just saying.
Just the other two primary combatants
No,
are.
this is when the prissy nobles get ambushed and get fucked over.
So, Akane and Hayato, you step into this fairly large, spacious-looking inn. It looks like this is sort of the equivalent of a luxury hotel. And both of you, at least Hayato, you know that this is the place where visiting dignitaries often stay. So, the inn is top fucking notch.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys step in. There is a very large sort of dining hall that you immediately step into that has curtained booths, and the sizzling smell of frying meat coming from a kitchen somewhere nearby. And you step in, and a white-faced, accentuated makeup older lady. Even the heavy makeup cannot disguise that. Steps up, and with a very husky voice, "Greetings and welcome. How may I help the two of you today?"
We traveled from the northern regions, and our path has led us from Kisakijo to your charming village here. We are on official business for Kisakidomo, and will be requiring lodging for the near future.
Well, I will I can certainly find some rooms for you two. How many of you are there, and how many rooms are you requiring?
Do I know we all had individual rooms when we were in Tengoku no Mizumi, right?
Yes.
I need to make an etiquette roll.
Does the betrothed couple get one room?
Fuck no, I doubt it. I don't know.
Probably not.
14 on etiquette.
Assuming
What would be
not.
the best, most socially appropriate delineation of rooms in the smallest number?
One each.
Okay. We will require 5. Nothing extravagant.
Very well. I will charge the magistrate's office, assuming that you are all here on official business, and we'll get that all settled out later.
We
You are?
appreciate it.
And follow me. And she heads back through the dining area, finding yourselves at sort of a counter where obviously the paperwork and the keys and everything are done. She goes behind the counter and pulls up some things, and if you'd follow me, heads upstairs.
Follow her.
She shows you all to the rooms. The rooms are basically separated out into 2 separate sections. There is the antechamber, which has rice paper doors that just sort of slide. And in in each of these rooms, they have a writing desk, sort of a small meeting area, a place for a small personal stove where you can make tea or boil water or things like that, which is making tea, I guess. Then they have a proper wooden back wall that has a locking door, which she produces a key to each of you, and the remainder of your party can pick their keys up from me. And shows you how to get into the room. And basically, beyond that door is a fairly large bedroom area that has a chamber pot, in a stall, basically.
Right.
Off to the far corner, dressing area, bathing area, and this is bathing. And bathing area is a stone room with a stone floor and a bucket that you can fill with water and dump over your head, not like a bathtub like we might understand it.
Right.
Our guests typically have a discounted access to the local hot springs, which you can find further to the north, close to the mountains.
Thank you very much. You have been most hospitable.
If you have any further questions, please come and see me. Dinner is currently being served, so if you'd like to find yourselves a booth, we will get you food.
Splendid.
And she bows and heads back downstairs. Turning around at the door, if you require anything else, Madame Hiroki is my name. And she heads back out.
This place is too... Ugh.
I would say enjoy it while you can. At least as much as you're inclined to.
I'm going to get food and get sleep.
A wise choice. I may accompany you.
And as the two of you head down to get food and drink and eventually sleep, we shift back over to the young trio who have headed out on their investigative mission, heading where?
We're going to start north.
Right. As you head north, you notice the various other. So as you head north, you notice the town center, sort of inside all of the farms, tends to be where the non-farm amenities are. There's a blacksmith, there's a carpenter, there's a bowyer, there's various other things there. There's a swordsmith as well attached to the blacksmith shop. And the magistrate's office, the inn, a couple of different places that look like they serve food, specifically, and then you eventually get further out from the town center and find yourselves in the farmland. Looking around very quickly, you count at least 40 farmhouses, like just from what you can see, and adding in the ones that you saw on your way in. It seems like they sort of spread out from the town center in to the north and then along the rivers. And the ones that you have names and addresses for, there are 6 that are to the north and then 4 that are across the river.
Okay. Well, it really doesn't matter which, to be honest. We don't have any information distinguishing one from the other, so pick one.
Yeah, with the cursory glance, are there any that seem to be the most notable quest marker, like a smoking roof or something?
No, but you guys go to the nearest one, I assume.
Yep.
So yeah, you find yourselves at sort of the nearest farm. There's people out working the fields. Various different types. All the farmhands are fairly young. There's an older sort of supervisor who is sitting back towards working a hand mill. As you approach, he looks up. Hello. Puts the mill down. Can I help you?
Hello. Yes. We are. Excuse. as Hisoka falls down coughing and dies.
Oh.
Well, this is going to cause some political upheaval.
No. Yes, we are looking into the disappearances of farmhands from here.
Oh, okay.
I understand that one vanished from here.
Yes. Sango.
Yes.
What can I help you with in that regard?
Would like to know a little bit about him. About what happened the night he vanished.
We're very sorry for your loss.
Well, thank you. He was a good boy. Sango is one of our outriders. He points out, and you see a couple of younger men on horseback, sort of herding cattle in this case. We send them out towards the evening to rein in all of our herds, bring them back in. Last week, sent him out to get one of the herds had gotten a little bit further, and his horse came back without him.
Okay.
How often do your herds travel too far?
It's pretty regular occurrence. We don't have a fence because we're at the edge of the farmland. So, they get sort of the extra room, which tends to help them out. Make sure the meat's a little bit better. But, it's fairly regular that they'll wander a bit too far, and we'll have to send somebody out to get them.
I don't know a correct way to phrase this, but basically Hinata's going to ask if all of the people who do this job on the outer farms are men, or if it tends to be combination.
No. We ourselves, we have. He points over, and he points at a pair of girls who are also riding horses. Hachiro and Akane out there, pointing it to girls that are riding past. And to be basically, it's most often it's whoever's good with a horse, and good with herding animals, obviously.
So, did you? I'm assuming that you went out to duck the area that he had been.
Yeah, we
probably vanished from.
We sent the folks out to get the rest of the cattle and see what happened to them.
Yes. Yeah. Did you find anything at all that would?
He sort of looks like he's thinking, trying to remember if there was anything. There was. Didn't know what to make of it at the time, but there was some clothing on the ground a little bit further out. It wasn't his, so didn't think anything of it, really.
Do you still have that?
No. No, I think we probably repurposed it. Something else.
You know what? Can you describe it?
He
like any.
Black and purple.
Heraldry lore.
Sure, give me a heraldry.
Somewhere on the other side of the village, Hayato just chokes on soup for no reason.
12.
There are black and purple is sort of a color that can be applied to many things. Spider Clan is certainly one of them, but they're not the only clan that has those colors.
I'm taking a different tact. Was it cloth like this? And I point at like Hisoka's clothes, or more like yours. I'm wondering if it was like fine quality cloth.
No.
Like, who are we dealing with?
Cotton and wool.
Okay.
He sort of tugs his very rudimentary hakama.
And I'm assuming, of course, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was no. Sounds like from what you have said, there were no problems with this
I mean,
Previously, nothing out of the ordinary.
no, rambunctious boys are rambunctious boys. But,
Yes.
no, nothing that would have made me think that he'd run off or anything like that. If that's what you're asking.
Okay.
And like when this happened, the horse didn't seem spooked. None of the cattle.
Oh no, the horse was definitely spooked.
Oh.
That's probably why it ran back.
Could you take us to where?
He sort of whistles, and a pair of the folks on horses come over. Yeah, they can.
Okay, thank you. When we come back, we might want to. I'm sorry. I know that it's been within the last 10 days. How long ago did?
Last week.
Last week.
8 days ago.
Do you still I would guess that you still have his things.
He didn't
What
stay.
he
didn't stay out here on the farm.
Where did he stay?
He had a house in the city with his family.
Okay. Good to know.
I can tell you where they are if you want.
Probably.
He'll head over to a bag and pull out some loose paper and just sort of give you a rough location and a name.
Okay. And I assume we head on out to the investigation site.
Are riding horses though now?
Yeah. Well, the horse riders don't. The horse riders sort of look down and call over a third and sort of get all three of you up behind the riders, and ride off a bit of ways out from the farm. You see, there's the sort of the herd of cattle is just sort of scattered wherever they seem to please, and they sort of ride out beyond the herd, and to sort of an empty spot. Not quite to where the grass turns into more rocky terrain heading into the mountains, but close enough where you can see it, and let you guys off.
All right.
Right about here. And then they start herding the cattle. They're not leaving sight, but they do start doing their job.
They're on the clock.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, that's happening. Farm bit. I know it's been a few days, but still gonna look around, see if there's anything investigating.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Cool.
Sorry.
Oh,
No problem.
we'll try that.
40.
I'm really bad at it. Yeah, it's an 11.
Hina got a 40 on her investigation check.
I am bad at investigating. Listen, I
genuinely just rolled really well that time.
34.
34.
I'm daydreaming.
Yeah.
Day drinking? Me too.
Either you're looking around and you're not seeing. It doesn't look like there's anything here to see for you. Hinata and Hisoka, there's not much here, but you do find something odd. Walking from the grass towards the sort of the rocky exterior, where the grass begins to give way to more rough land. You're sort of looking to see if there's any tracks or trails or anything that might lead out. And you sort of brush aside the snow, and notice that beneath the snow and the grass here has died. But the grass further out, you guys can see where the cows are sort of nosing grass away, is still perfectly healthy under the snow. It's fairly sturdy grass. It's not going to die just from being covered by snow. But in this vaguely semicircle just before the grassland gives way to more rocky terrain, the grass seems to have withered and died.
That sounds Shadowlandsy.
Spellcraft on that or something?
Sure.
I had a Shadowlands lore roll on that?
Sure. You can also give me a Shadowlands lore roll.
12. This is why I'm not an investigator. I don't have any intelligence.
26.
I'm not gonna roll for that.
So with a 12, you don't know. I mean, nothing that you know would do this. But you don't know Maho, so
obviously.
Yeah. Hisoka with the 26. Yeah, Shadowlands can. So the Shadowlands taint can kill vegetation and cause vegetation to wither and die. Typically, that's something you see sort of in lands where they border the Shadowlands or border a large patch of Shadowlands taint.
Right.
You don't typically see isolated bits of it like this unless whatever caused it was particularly steeped in the taint.
But it's also the most...
it's the most reasonable explanation as to why the grass is dead. But it doesn't make sense that it would be here. At least not from... there would be more signs, and you're not seeing any of the other signs.
Getting random genre wiggling that the two people we left back at the random play at the end might be useful.
I mean, yeah. I was very proud of that.
It's a good roll. I mean, you found information that is very difficult to find.
Yeah.
So he just frowns deeply. Let's see if this gives us a start, and we have a location of the home, so we can go there later. Let's see how much of this we can corroborate with one more place before we go back to the inn for the night.
When we do, it might be prudent. Mention something about rowdy boys being rowdy boys. It might be prudent to ask if he was acquainted with any of the other people.
Yes, absolutely. That was my goal. Start with one and then try to build. Did he know this person? Next person, did he know this person or this person, etc.
It would seem a sensible way to go about it.
But yeah, so whatever the next nearest disappearance would be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next farm.
Yeah.
So it's a couple farms over, but you get over there and you find the supervisor there and ask him pretty much the same questions.
The second verse, same as the first.
So yeah, you ask him pretty much the same questions. You get roughly the same series of answers.
Okay.
Boy went out looking for their livestock. His horse came back. He didn't. This one they didn't find anything here from wherever he went off from. Unlike the previous farm, they didn't find anything when they went out to look for him.
Mm-hmm. And did he? Do you know if he knew the name of other person or Sango?
I mean, yeah, most of the outriders.
Most of them know each other.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they were particular friends or more so than with anybody.
No more so than with anybody else. No. I think actually two of them didn't get along all that well. I think they had I think they were both sweet on the same girl at one point in time, and that sort of, boys will be boys, but
I like that this person suddenly developed a slight accent.
They have the Japanese equivalent of a southern accent because they're foreigners.
Insert long explanation about how we understand that it is not directly translatable to a Southern accent, but sometimes it is anyway, and sometimes Trigun.
Sometimes Trigun.
They're from.
Who was this girl?
Sounds legit. Yes.
One of the other Outriders. I don't rightly know which one it was.
Okay. And again, could you take us to, or have somebody take us to where?
We can take you out to the general location. We don't know exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I know you said it wasn't the same.
Yeah, they didn't find a thing. But yeah, they have a trio of Outriders take you guys out as well.
Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Poke, poke, poke.
Give us
Look,
more
look,
investigation
look.
checks if you want.
This is where they get ambushed.
31.
There's
But they see it coming.
nothing here. This spot.
Yeah.
The two of you look around. You don't know if it's just that they didn't bring you to the right spot because they didn't have a marker like the last the last one did. But you're not seeing any of that tainted grass. You're not seeing anything else.
I'm asking the writers who are coming with us questions.
Sure. What questions are you asking?
Yeah. So I don't know what this guy's name was. But if we got his name.
Yeah, you got his name.
Yeah. They said that he was sweet on a girl, the same girl as the other person, the Sango who disappeared.
Yeah. They were.
Oh, that's always sad. Who was she?
Mika. She works a few farms further down.
Oh. She must be distraught.
I don't think she really cared all that much about either of them, really. They were just sort of posturing a lot.
Yep. That is the thing that happens.
Fun fact, that happens a lot more than guys want to admit.
Yup.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much what my questioning would be.
Okay.
I don't know.
You found a name. Mika.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, at this point, I'm assuming it's probably a little past dusk at least.
Yeah, sun has gone down at this point.
Yeah. Let's head back to the
Right.
They give you a ride back with the. You see that there are still more horses going out, from the various other farms to get cattle, but they give you a ride back to at least to the farm where you can then walk back in.
Okay. Perfect.
And you guys eventually arrive back at the inn where you are greeted by this older woman with lots of white face paint, the red blush on her cheeks, and shaved single dot eyebrows. That all of which fails to disguise her age. Welcome. Three of you. You wouldn't happen to all be with those two? She says, pointing at Hayato and Akane, who are eating food and drinking sake.
We would be.
Sake, I think you mean chocho.
In Akane's taste, chochu.
Chochu.
Sake for me.
And she sort of hands you all a key. I believe they'll be. I showed them where your rooms are. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask. And she'll
Excellent.
give you her
Thank
name
you very much.
And wander off. There's still some dinner left. If you want to join your friends, we'll get you some food.
Thank you.
And she
Head over.
Doing that.
Yep. And the five of you are all at a table. Within a few minutes, food is brought back out for the three of you that just joined, as well as drinks, whatever you'd prefer.
Water.
Water? Or tea if you'd like.
Water or tea. Yeah,
get
water
some
or tea. Mm-hmm.
You can get some tea, you can get some sake, you can get some sochu, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you are all sitting down to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, we had a productive look. Managed to get to a couple of the locations. There's one that perhaps tomorrow we should head back to with everybody. It appears
or we should see if any of the other sites that they have more information at mirror it.
That as
you
well.
You kept all looking at the ground. What was that?
It looked like the site of some fairly serious Shadowlands.
The grass was dead in a very specific area and pattern, which
Hayato just sort of looks over it and kind of,
We'll go tomorrow and take a look at it. Yes, we definitely should find if there are similar ones elsewhere, but going to there first.
correct.
With everybody will allow may provide us some insight that we can use at the other places.
Curious about this Mika girl.
Yes.
There was quite the implication that more was going on than we were really hearing from the ones in charge.
I don't know if it was quite a lot more, but they definitely didn't know all the situation.
The two people who disappeared from the farms we investigated were both in love, or both pursuing the same girl.
How unfortunate for them.
well,
There was
she
certain
doesn't offer
coded
anything else other than
language that implied
I slide a
something
glass of
else
water over
happened.
to you. You've been drinking.
at the very least, this girl may know more.
May have some insight, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know where they both lived in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So we could go speak to their
Also,
family.
another thing to see if the pattern holds with a third or a fourth.
Yes. And of course, further investigation into.
Very well.
All right.
Well, if that's all that we've learned today, I need to rest.
So, you guys finish your food, finish your conversation, retire to bed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Akane, when she gets to her room and shuts the door behind her, just kind of takes the machete off her back and just sits down and sets it standing up in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of stares at it for a bit. Well, Father, seems like we're on this road again. Something dangerous has come out of the Shadowlands, and it's getting in our way again. I hope you're ready, because I'm going to need you, and I'm going to need all of your strength in the coming days. She just kind of grips the blade very tightly for a second before she sets it down and goes to sleep.
If she can do so subtly but not stealthily, just like socially discreet in the polite way, Hinata will try and pull Kakita-san aside. As
give me a
Not necessarily pull aside so
yeah.
much as speak to privately.
Yeah,
Whatever would be.
Courtier or etiquette roll.
Both of those are going to be intelligence, aren't they? No, etiquette's awareness.
Players. Yeah,
They're both awareness, actually.
they're both awareness.
Oh, yeah, 18.
Yeah, you can sort of subtly indicate to Irie that you would like to speak with her alone.
Yes.
Cool.
You two find yourself separated from the rest.
Kakita-san, I've noticed you seem a little bit concerned about the prevalence of Shadowlands in this particular investigation thing.
I was not expecting this when I went on this. When I joined this mission, when I was sent on this.
I'm sure it was not something anyone anticipated or expected. I'm trying to be political.
Yeah, well, and I don't think that Hinata has any reason to think she's saying anything but the exact truth anyway.
Yeah.
That is also true, but she's trying to be delicate about the exact truth. I do hope it will assuage some of your worries to understand that my school and my clan sort of pride themselves on specifically being able to sense elements of spiritual unusualness. Particularly, we have, in a way that others do not, the ability to very specifically note Shadowlands taint, even at small increments.
That does. Thank you. I just worry. I know that the prisoner we had taken specifically seemed interested in the experiences Akane had had. Actually, I wouldn't say Akane. I'd say Ren-san. Sorry. That was my bad.
Negative points for familiarity. No.
Yeah. Ren-san is quick to bait and quick to anger, and I suspect that individual, as much as the motives of such a thing can be known, was angling to be removed before any information might be uncovered about their mission.
That's true.
Suicide by berserker.
Legit.
Except for that's not a delicate way of putting it.
It's a long and glorious history of suicide by berserker.
Throw yourself at someone who you know is going to kill you.
Oh.
He also told me this when I went to talk to him by myself, so...
Oh, gee. It's almost like you want to put your enemies at unease.
Well, I might not be the most familiar with such practices, but it strikes me that such a foe might not be the most honest or trustworthy source.
Of course. I'll sort of let the conversation die there, if you aren't trying
Well,
to.
if there's anything I can do to help with your concerns in the future, I am here as a spellcaster and spiritual guide.
Thank you.
Yeah. And inside Hinata's head, there's this, how long before I get my next thing? Can I be reassigned now, please?
Same.
And so, unless there's anything else happening.
Hayato just takes his bow and uses that to make a little bit of a deadfall alarm on his outer door. Basically, you slide it open, it knocks it over, makes noise. I wake up and stab you in the face.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I pine about the existence of young love.
There you go. And you all fall asleep. Getting a comfortable night's rest. Those of you that are injured, which I think only Akane might still be, or no, that was all healed.
Nope.
That was fully healed.
That was healed.
You get your spell slots back, Hinata.
Yep.
As you all awaken the next day to the sound of birds chirping, a morning tune outside, a kettle somewhere in the inn going off. The idyllic farm life has awoken you.
And no beheadings
No beheadings.
that we know of.
That you know of.
Yet.
There's
There is something idyllic about the fancy inn that markets itself with idyllic farm life and hot springs.
Yes.
They're like, from a kind of turn, there's almost the immediate sound of a bottle being uncorked.
I bound out. I'm super chipper.
You meet Hayato coming back through the hall with a cup of tea for you.
Oh, thank you. I will accept.
Good morning, Kakita-san.
Thank you. No one got beheaded outside?
I have checked. It does not appear to be.
Good.
But yeah. So, where are you all convening for your morning?
I mean,
Over food or elsewhere?
food, I would assume.
I'll eat food.
Definitely food.
Oh,
Yeah.
You eventually all wake up and struggle your ways downstairs at various meetings of struggle, and get yourselves into a private booth and get some breakfast going. You do notice the sort of dining area is a bit more lively this morning than it was last night. Akane in particular, actually Akane and Hayato, both of you in particular, noticing men, a couple of men in the colors of the Mantis clan, being particularly loud and raucous at one of the in one of the private booths, but with the curtain not closed because they don't apparently care about privacy.
I'll choose a booth fairly close by, like maybe one or two removed, and just very quietly watch them without them being able to tell I'm watching them.
And Akane is probably sitting directly across from him, so she's just listening.
Sure. You're all sort of probably in that general location.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear pretty easily without even having to roll. They're talking about it sounds like they're talking about hunting, and you know, the fishtail, but in this particular case, deer. I
caught a deer with antlers this big.
This one was a 12 point. This one was a 16 point. This one was a 25 point.
Deer season starts this week.
And
thing.
You can tell by looking over that they all seem to have bows of various sizes, sort of leaning against the wall near their thing.
This is gonna go great. I feel obligated to ask if I can determine if any of them are lying.
Sure.
That is a courtier roll, right?
That is a courtier. I believe it's a courtier roll.
I believe courtier is the defense against any manipulation stuff.
It's either courtier or investigation. Both of them can be rolled.
Oh dear.
I would like
Let
to try.
me see. It would be a.
Yeah, all right, because you have to call them out on it.
Yes, I do.
Oh no.
Yeah, it would be investigation interrogation emphasis.
Oh, good, because I have an emphasis in that.
Versus their sincerity deceit.
Which they have a
The Ice Queen's just taking a sip of tea, unaware.
To lie to lie to me.
Sure. Give me a roll.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna go poorly.
Basically, their TN is 10 higher than whatever you roll.
Yes. I mean, that's not the best roll I could have,
So
but it's not bad.
They have a 37.
That is your minimum without critting.
If they're lying, they
or
have a
maximum
37.
without critting. That thing.
Cannot wait to see how this pans out.
I know.
Only one of them is lying.
Okay.
Is it the one saying he caught a 20-point buck? Because those don't exist.
That was exaggeration. He wasn't actually saying 20-point buck. But actually, the only one that's lying is the one that's saying he caught the smallest one.
Really?
Yes.
I have to look up
Fascinating.
this advantage now.
What's the disadvantage?
Can't lie.
I have to see if I can make a roll or if I just fucking...
No, you make a willpower trait
Okay.
roll. Target number 20.
Thank you.
Which is a lot lower. Your target to not call out a lie is a lot lower than mine to not start a fight.
I mean, I have 2 dice. So we'll see how this goes. So close!
You can.
19!
That is a 19.
If you feel that it is something that you would like to not fail, because it is Mantis Clan and they are allies, you can make an honor roll if you want. Which is your honor in dice and kept.
And it's against the same target number?
Same target number.
But with the risk of if you fail that roll,
You lose you might lose some honor.
How high's your honor right now?
Oh no, I've got like 6 dice to roll.
So you almost can't fail that.
I almost can't fail. It's just whether I want to.
It's up to you.
It's whether I want to or not.
T.
Hold on, let me
Presumably
check the
fish.
gaining and losing honor chart.
You sense you're drinking tea, and you sense your betrothed is having some sort of internal conflict right now, and you're not certain what, and you're not certain why.
Completely blank face. Just ahead. This too is inevitable.
You know what?
It's the samurai version of nihilism.
I feel like this is something that should first rear its head in the worst possible situation, and this is not the worst possible situation. I want all the other characters to be caught completely unaware when he's like, bullshit! What is it? So it'll be roll...
it'll be /roll 6010K6 bang bang.
D10 K6.
Well, in technology, exclamation marks are called bangs.
Yes, they are. But it's just hilarious.
31.
So yeah, there's a...
Hayato does not see this happen because he is watching the Mantis Clan, not you.
They are energetic and boisterous to an annoying degree.
Akane is just kind of like grip tightens just a little bit on her bottle.
Annoyed, like,
which is the standard for Mantis Clan.
Like somebody
archers.
is has put a chalkboard right next to his ear and is just like
scrape.
So, Yeah, they completely failed their lie attempt, but only one of them was actually lying. So, you guys.
Can I tell anything about what potential school they might be from?
They all give me your knowledge, Mantis Clan.
Full of lying liars.
Well, we know that. Well, you know that. 25.
With 25, with your knowledge of the Mantis Clan, looking over at them, you're pretty certain they are most likely all from the Suruchi Archer School.
Okay. I should have picked a closer booth.
So, we're going to go out and investigate some more.
Yes.
Kiseki-sama, do you wish for us to all proceed as a single group, or do you believe our efforts would be better utilized spread further afield?
I think at the very least, we need to go to the initial site that we investigated yesterday together. Because any information any additional insight that the two of you can get will be valuable if shared. It will be valuable to share with us, and then we can determine where to go from there.
Yeah. I assume we brought them up to speed on all of the things we learned.
Yes.
Yes.
So, after eating your breakfast,
Hayato makes some appropriate humility-laced comment about how I'm no fucking detective, dude, but I'll try, sure, why not?
and you all head out to the first spot that you investigated. There's fresh snowfall all over the fields. The cattle, the livestock aren't yet out here. The outriders aren't yet out, so you guys walked all the way out to the spot. And yeah, you're staying in an open field of snow that eventually gives way to rock.
Yes. I'm going to...
Can you show me this grass?
Brush away.
Yep. You brush away and you find the dead grass.
So looking
I got
at
a
it,
16.
do I know what might be able to cause such a localized
Give me a
incursion
knowledge
of
Shadowlands.
That 16 was just flat investigation. I don't have any Shadowlands.
30.
Damn!
With a 16, Hayato, that's some dead grass underneath the snow. You know the snow wouldn't kill it.
Right.
Yeah.
The grass is so dead.
The grass is fucking dead. With a 30, Akane, any sufficiently steeped in Shadowlands creature could do this, just by their presence.
Just in the one spot, though, or would it not leave a trail of dead grass behind it?
If they came through the grass, potentially.
Do I look around and see more dead grass leading away?
No, but this dead grass is at the edge of the grass where the grassland turns to rock.
Okay. Which means that this is because there aren't any other dead grass. Assuming they walked, they came from the stones.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask before. I think the answer is no, but is there something I'm obligated to do as a Shugenja to, fix it?
No.
Okay, cool.
You do all have... by the way, just because you all would have been thinking about this information, looking at the information that Idri got, because you had mentioned it previously, Mika, the farm that Mika works at was pointed out to you as one of the farms along the edge of the river, and it was looking at the information you've previously acquired. It's also one of the most recent farms to have somebody taken from it.
Okay.
So I sort of look out and I point in the direction of that field. They definitely come from this direction at the very least. Such a creature that would cause it anywhere they walked. All plant life would die around them.
You are far more knowledgeable as regards the denizens of the Shadowlands,
That means we should have...
Ren-sama. But are there any that fly?
Birds, as other animals, can be tainted by the Shadowlands, but typically they would leave their own marks. Especially if they were... And do I know of any that are large enough to carry a person away?
Not that you've encountered. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but not that you've encountered.
While I haven't encountered... While I don't doubt that the possibility of their existence is real, I have yet to encounter a Shadowlands tainted bird large enough to carry a full-grown human being.
Giant zombie dinosaurs calling it now.
Or someone who could ride a horse.
That at least is good news.
As opposed to regular-sized zombie dinosaurs, which are probably already pretty big.
Hey, go big or go home, man.
That's still 5-hour and up Pacific Rim.
Where's my goddamn shoe?
All right. Okay, if we have a direction, we could at least try to find similar.
The direction is the mountains.
Yeah, it's from the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, let's go and see if we can continue to expand our picture with the next few farms.
If we might, Mika's farm is right over there, and it was one of the more recently attacked. If whatever is taking these people is forming a pattern, the pattern is maybe more likely to be solidified in the most recent attacks. Perhaps we should concentrate on those.
Okay.
A wise suggestion.
So you all head over to the farm that had been indicated as Mika's. It's one of the riverside farms, and the farmhouse, in fact, has a water mill in addition to other features that it might have. And you approach, and you find another supervisor there. Who this one they did have. They do know exactly where he disappeared from. Because there was this time the horse didn't come back, and when they had gone out, they found the horse dead on the ground. So,
was its head punched off? No, I don't actually ask that. Now, how did the horse die? Is the appropriate way to ask.
We're not quite certain. It was being eaten by wolves by the time we got out to it, so...
Let me see.
Jokingly, so not decapitation.
No. Decapitation.
That.
We're not going to decapitate anybody ever again. Just to... No.
Well, I mean, there's a great deal of tradition surrounding decapitated horses and what you do with their heads afterwards. So
yes.
You leave them in someone's bed.
Right. Most of the time.
Previous statement, not Italy. Okay. So, do you guys head out to the location?
Yep.
No.
All of you but Irie head out to the location.
Irie's
that's fine. Because somebody needs to talk to Mika, and you would.
Right.
Yeah.
Irie, are you trying to find Mika?
Yeah. Yep. I'm asking around.
Give me a. What's the roll? Give me a. Etiquette roll.
Sweet. 15.
You sort of ask around, trying to politely acquire information, and it seems like Mika didn't come to work today.
Oh, that's too bad. I know the weather's been really terrible. Does she have a cold?
No one really knows why.
She didn't text and let her supervisor know? Jeez.
No, she didn't. She just
find good help these days.
Dumped.
God.
No
Damn
call, man
it.
show.
But
Hopefully, we're not too far out on the road. You're like, guys, guys.
But that's not too terribly. That's not too terribly unusual. Mika's not again doesn't live on the farms, and she will often take a couple days here, a couple days there, and just not show up. She's for some reason the supervisor doesn't mind.
Well, I'd like to talk to her because I know she knew a couple of the people who have gone missing. Can you point me to her house?
And they sort of like do the thing where they're thinking, like they're visibly thinking. That's weird. I don't actually know where she lives. Huh? I've never asked.
Bet you the supervisor knows.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the supervisor.
Sure.
Let's see.
Talk to him.
And yeah, Mika's not here, and I wanted to ask her some questions because I know she was friendly with some of the other people who've disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where she lives?
Nope.
That was really quick.
Yeah, I am not good at telling if people are lying, but I would like to try.
An investigation interrogation roll.
Okay, I'm terrible at investigation.
You are untrained.
I am untrained.
Well, I mean, he could always roll nothing but one. Let's find out.
Is it worth an honor roll?
Possibly.
You could roll honor if you wanted to reroll that.
I think I would like to. Yeah.
Can wait till I get back and lay the quintuple whammy down on them.
All right. Let's see here. 6.
Roll 6. Keep 6.
Yep.
2 banks, because I believe honor rolls have explosions, even if they're.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, 24.
He's not lying.
Does she lose honor?
No.
Okay.
You know he's not lying. You're not. He and the way he said it, it sounded like he was saying it reflexively, like he didn't even realize he was answering a question, and he's still working.
That's very strange.
We have found a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Who works on a farm for some reason.
Yes, this is very mysterious.
Girls gotta eat.
Yeah. Did
Not if she's got an ocean tattoo. She
the person who disappeared from this farm, if I know his name by this point.
Yeah.
Did he?
They're monks, not Shugenja.
Yeah. Did he talk to Mika a lot, or?
I don't really know. I don't involve myself in the young ones' flirtations.
That's very true. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And I will head.
To join them?
You know, I'm going to keep investigating this because I want to prove myself as a person. So I feel like I would keep going, even though this is not smart.
All right, you continue on your own. Meanwhile, everybody else, they drop you guys off near, sort of along the edge of the river, and continue back to their work.
Investigation.
Give me investigation checks.
Investigation.
20.
22.
Fuck it. Why not?
12.
Is
Completely untrained in this, so.
untrained investigation from Akane.
9.
Akane, that's a frozen river.
Okay.
Hayato, it's a frozen river.
Safe to walk across?
Not necessarily that safe. You can sense that it seems like you look at it. It seems like only the top layer is frozen.
Right. There's frozen, and then there's frozen solid.
Yeah. It seems like only the top layer is frozen.
We're totally gonna get Renekane to walk across that river.
No, you're not.
Hinata and Hisoka, you guys notice some more dead grass along the bank of the river. And you also notice a couple of spots where the ice has been broken in the river.
Ooh.
The ice has been broken.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll indicate to the dead grass. Well, it does seem that we had a similar incursion or
Yes.
Trust
Rensan, if you could come look at this.
I go to where he's standing and look.
Some dead grass.
Looks is just
I-
do
it
the
looks exactly the same
broken
as-
parts of the river seem like they might be like feet or something?
They're sort of just not quite too terribly large, but holes. They do coincidentally line up with the dead grass.
I sort of follow the grass and sort of
How
look.
big are these
I-
holes?
About 3 to 5 feet wide.
Okay.
they line up the ice in line up with the dead grass. How? Something about that doesn't make sense to me.
Like sort of where if you were to trace the semicircle of the dead grass, it would complete in the hole of the ice. Like in the hole in the ice.
Like
Gotcha.
if you follow it like a path and try to follow it back, it leads back over the ice where the
Okay.
holes are at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Akane does. She kind of follows it and looks out, sees a couple of holes in the river. Eyes narrow.
Does it seem like the same pattern?
Give me a Shadowlands roll if you want, Akane.
I do.
Lore Shadowland.
Damn it. 9.
I will also
Was
make
that a
that-
trained or an emphasis one?
I will also make that roll. Lore Shadowlands.
Uh,
You
The
say?
lore rolls, they're subtypes, not emphases.
Oh, that's right. I always
You
forget.
can get an emphasis on the subtype.
10.
9 out of 10. Something just this. You feel like you should know what this is, Akane. You don't, but you feel like you should know this.
Can I make an honor roll?
Yeah, you can make an honor roll.
Because that was shameful. 21.
And as you get that idea of you should know this, you sort of get a memory of your sensei standing over the beheaded corpse of a green-skinned humanoid dressed in rags, giving you a lecture about one of the primary goals of Crab Clan samurai who aren't on the wall. To be on the lookout and to hunt for bog hags. These are creatures that are amphibious. They live in water and watery terrain, and they kill and skin their victims and wear their skin, disguising themselves as humans, to infiltrate further into the empire and taint lands that are far away from the wall. Specifically, their goal is to start up Shadowlands tainted areas well away from the wall, using their ability to infiltrate human society by skinning and wearing their victims. They tend to be beautiful women, or tend to wear beautiful women, and use that guise to lure unsuspecting men to their doom.
So Ren just kind of, from where she's looking, draws the machete and just stands at the edge of the river and is overhand right on where the hole is at.
Right? Smash through the ice and the hole.
something out.
Water splashes.
And some.
And I start to clear like a larger portion of the ice away.
Red sun.
If you'd like, I could divine request, find
How
out
much?
from the Kami.
What do you know of this girl, Mika?
She seemed to be romantically entangled with several of the boys, or at least two of the boys that went missing. We didn't get a chance to ask about the one on this farm, did we? Okay. At least two of the boys that went missing, there was some implication that they were rowdy young'uns and boys will be boys.
There's a beast of the Shadowlands, a creature that lives in rivers and underwater, called a hag. It preys on those it can find by using the guise of beautiful women to spread taint, gather power, and delve deeper into the Empire.
I see.
Well, then we had best find this Mika as soon as possible, since she appears to be our primary suspect at this point.
Yes.
As I said, they like to make their their homes under rivers.
This would seem to be a likely location.
Hayato's trying to figure out the
It probably
proper
would
way
scare
to
away
say
any
you don't
local
shit where you
Kami, though.
eat.
One does not partake of food in the same place that they tend to life's necessities.
Yes.
And I sort of look over my shoulder. Yase, what do you sense in this area?
Yeah.
You want to commune with some spirits?
Well, so the implication reading over the sense, or the implication reading over the commune roll seems to be that I have a general understanding of whether or not there are spirits in the area that can be communed with.
Yeah. There are.
Okay. Yeah.
There are spirits most places.
Yes,
so.
But Shadowlands specifically is the thing that drives them away.
It's true.
Yeah, commune water.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
one of my bonus slots.
It doesn't seem like the taint is heavy enough here to drive any of the waters. Not many of the waters this way, I should say.
All right. What should I ask?
Ask if something dangerous came through here recently, and I start to look through the riverbed to see if I can find anything like, because footprints in mud at the bottom of a river will erode a little bit slower because they're already underwater and not being wiped away as fast.
You can't get to the bottom of this river.
Okay.
It's too deep. That's part of why it's not entirely frozen.
Mm-hmm.
The lower layer beneath the frozen top, and as you cut through, you can see the frozen layer is probably about half a foot thick, and everything underneath that is still flowing. And like you just like dip your sword down, and your sword doesn't even hit the bottom of the river.
I said, I didn't say it. I was gonna raise, but that's fine. 33.
Okay.
Which beats my TN.
Yes, it does.
So, first question. Did anything tainted or dangerous come through here? I'm asking the water specifically.
Yeah, through the river, yeah.
So
through the river.
Yeah, the from where the ice has cleared away, a bit of water just sort of snakes up into the air as Hinata recites the incantation to summon and commune with the spirit. And this water just sort of almost snake-like just sort of pops out and looks at Hinata as she asks the question. And the rest of you sort of see it nod yes, as Hinata, you hear an affirmative response.
All right. And
Where did it go?
Hinata knows that that's not going to get anywhere because only in the water. Where does it return to?
And it doesn't give you a mental response,
Mm-hmm.
but it just sort of curves and points back towards the mountains.
Okay.
And then back into the water.
And these rivers go towards the mountains, right?
They come from the mountains.
Yeah. Do I know if hags
assume
prefer
it's
to travel
upriver.
along rivers?
Sorry, both of you were saying anything. What? William, what was the question?
Do I know if hags prefer to travel along rivers?
From your role, you're not. From your role, you're not certain. They travel. They travel deeper into the Empire. It would probably be easier for them to travel underwater. They are.
Given that doesn't mean there's patches of dead.
Yeah.
Grassland.
Also, they can breathe underwater perfectly fine. So, and then Aaron, what were you about to ask?
It wasn't a question.
Oh,
Hinata would just say, well, it seems that at least some sort of hideout might be upriver, but we should probably reconnect with, or I'd suggest we might reconnect with Kakita-san at some point.
This is off one of the branches of the river. This isn't anywhere near the fork.
This is the eastern branch, or the eastern river.
We can probably follow the river up to the mountains to try and find its lair.
Yes, but I agree. We should do that all together.
Yes, let's go find Kakita.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Heidi, what you doing?
I am going back to the riders that I was talking to before. I really hope to talk to her. Did you know? Did Mika talk a lot? Was she close with the person who disappeared from here?
I mean, they talk on occasion. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't. Huh. I mean, I remember them talking. I just don't remember what they would talk about. I don't remember them doing anything other than talking, though. So.
Did they have a favorite spot?
Nah,
to go
that
in?
I know of. I know she liked to ride along the river.
That's true.
I like how you say that's true to something that you have no reason to.
That's Audrey going, I assume that's true. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds lovely. I haven't been able to do that in a while. I miss riding horses. Do you have any spares that I could borrow?
Give me a sincerity roll.
Okay. Pretty good at sincerity. Let's do this. 16.
As Jeremy yawns in my ear. We're not supposed to let people who aren't riders ride the horses. Sorry.
I know, but it's been so long. I'm gonna try and use my honor. Yeah, I'm gonna make an honor roll.
The honor roll.
Prepare to lose your honor.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. 34.
That's not bad.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt, and you can use mine. I'm done for the day anyways. So.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it was gonna be like you can use that guy. He's probably not coming back. That guy's horse.
They help you get up on the horse.
All right.
Give me an animal handling roll.
I was gonna
Oh
say,
no.
Can you ride?
That horse specifically didn't come back and got eaten by wolves.
Yeah.
Okay. Animal. I do have a rank in animal handling, so
Good.
Good.
Isn't it?
13.
Fortunately, these horses are used to being ridden, so you can make this one move pretty easily. It doesn't seem comfortable with you on top. It seems like you ride differently from the person that was riding previously. You're also heavier than the person that was riding previously. But yeah, you move it along.
Okay. I
you
am
are on
following
horseback.
along the river.
All right. How are the rest of you getting back? Are you just following the river back to the farm?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
So after a while,
On the way
sorry,
there,
go ahead.
really quick. Actually, this will probably not be really quick, but one can hope. Renson.
Mm-hmm.
I know that what I'm about to suggest is something that you will probably not be particularly fond of. But
You're about to start a fight with Redicon.
when we confront this creature, we need to find out information from it before.
Do I know if you can get information out of a hag?
No one's ever
It's
tried.
a sentient creature that knows information.
That is. These are true facts. No one's
However,
ever tried.
Shadowlands
true.
creatures are to be killed on sight.
Yeah, that's why Hisoka phrased it with
That's
your
Dragon
number like
Clan, bitches. Weird.
Dragon Clan. You want to talk to the Shadowlands creatures?
Yes.
That's
You want evidence when you
That's
execute someone for doing
basically
a bad
the look
thing?
that Ren gives him is sort of the like. You just asked me to talk to a bear.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in coincidence?
Maybe we should discuss things with the Black Death before we, do the entire curing thing.
I mean, maybe we should do science at it is more accurate in this instance.
No, he specifically said talk to.
Yes, well,
I
my
don't think
fiance
a
is not
hag
a
is going to
startling
take the time to
example
talk
of his
to us when we wander
mentality.
into its lair.
That is conceivable.
And if
But
it does,
that
I think
doesn't-
it's just going to try and trick us.
With respect, that wasn't what I asked. Do you believe in coincidence?
Yes.
We are at a fundamental state of disagreement about it. And I do not particularly think that this rise of what's the term? Akujin.
Yeah.
That is suddenly plaguing along with this creature from the Shadowlands, making its way in when there isn't a lot of Shadowlands around, are unrelated. This is a problem, yes, absolutely. And this is a problem that needs to be dealt with. But I think it seems more symptomatic of a larger problem. And I think that there is information to be gathered from there.
Any words a hag would use to speak with us would be to poison our minds and confuse us from our goal.
Again, with respect, I am very well trained in determining lies from truth.
At this point, Hayato has both invented and prepared popcorn.
Popcorn actually exists.
Goddamn unicorns have it, don't they?
Yep.
Fuck those assholes.
Unicorn.
Pass the bag to Hinata.
Hinata will take it. Oh, this reminds me of my last fiance. He died horribly.
I like that completely without context.
I also like that he died horribly while Akane is staring down Hisoka.
Interestingly enough, popcorn, remnants of popcorn has been found that date to 3600 BC.
Cool.
I can see that.
For as long as there has been heat and hot surfaces,
Yeah.
there has been popcorn.
Here's some popcorn. Because eventually, when you were making when you were cooking corn, you do it the wrong way, and then it goes.
Anyway.
And someone is smart enough to go, is that, or dumb enough, I guess, to go, is that still edible?
Yes, it is.
So yes.
And then someone puts it up on trees and ruins the whole thing.
Yep.
Yes, when we encounter this creature, we need to see if we can extract information.
You're welcome to
before
try.
we put it down. Huh?
You're welcome to try. I make no promises of my own.
What I am asking is the opportunity to try.
She's not going like I can't make that promise because you know that I can't guarantee that I will be able to act in such a manner.
I do not know this.
Pass the popcorn
Now you do.
back.
Why do our characters never get along?
Along just fine. It's just that this is two different fundamental differences in.
Hayato pulls out his Crab Clan, Dragon Clan cross-language dictionary and looks up berserker. And holds it up.
Yeah, so we'll...
My concern is that I said try, and you said you cannot promise that.
I can't.
No, you can promise to try. You cannot promise to succeed.
I can't even promise to try because the circumstance may arise when I don't even want to let it speak.
Friend-san, if I might offer a different
He said it himself, he's very good at discerning lies. If I told him that I promised to try, he would probably be able to tell.
This is a request for person we're
That is
supposed to be
correct. I
told.
could. My hope is
If
that
I might offer another perspective, of course, understanding that
I wish I had pop.
Kisaki-san is the person in charge here and is here to prove himself. It might also be, if this hag is not alone, if we are able to determine that and determine further threats of the Shadowlands taint in this area, given we have reason to suspect that there are others, that may be worth something. Worth.
There's that.
I don't know if that counts as lying.
There's that wordless stare that just kind of turns to Hinata for a second. And then just kind of slowly turns back to Hisoka. I will try. And there's, I believe you get a reflexive roll because she can't actually say that
Not yet.
without lying.
Hisoka doesn't get it yet. That's rank 3, I think.
Okay.
It's 3 or 4.
She can't actually say that without lying because she knows how she works. If it even begins to threaten, she probably will just fly off the handle, and she knows that. But she'll give you those words.
I feel like I need a cardio roll for this.
Against me or against Akane?
Akane.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I don't
Good.
even know if I need to make one.
You probably don't. She's just saying the words. She knows that she can't honestly put those words out there.
Yeah, rank 5 is when Kitsuki get the instinctive reactive check.
Like, you can probably easily read that she's saying those words for your sake because she doesn't even believe them herself.
Yeah, no, there is a difference between saying words and lying. And
Yes.
Akane is very clearly saying words. And at roughly this point, you hear the sound of hoofbeats.
Okay, is that Kakita-sama?
And look and see Airi riding up on a horse. Airi, you see the rest of them standing there having a
Oh,
conversation.
hi.
A very tense conversation.
Passes the popcorn over.
Now, the question is riding animal handling or is it horsemanship?
Just getting the horse to function is animal handling. Doing fancy tricks on horseback is horsemanship.
Yeah. I do have a rank in horsemanship too, though. So,
If
oh yeah, I know. That was just
like
for me
if you were to
in
try
the
to
future.
fire a bow from horseback, it would require a horsemanship roll first.
Mhm.
For instance.
ooh.
Okay, son, how did you discover anything?
I thought it was going to be, how did you come by this animal?
That is the least of his concerns at this particular moment.
Yes, I think we need to go and find Mika. I don't know. She doesn't
It's
live
funny
in town.
you should say
No.
that.
What Hisoka has basically asked of Akane is asking the Paladin of Vengeance not to smite the demon.
He gets it.
It's not to ask.
It doesn't mean that he chooses to disregard because it's the specific words that are being it's I won't want to, and that's like, okay, well now you're making a choice.
So Airi's statement was she doesn't live in town, and
She doesn't live
Hayato
in
just very
town?
deadpans back at her. You don't say.
Yes,
No. And
He's still chewing on popcorn.
As presumably there's like this tension in the background.
yeah, I want to know if I noticed that. Just
You can
because.
just like see it's the sequence
of
it's the
palpable.
sequence of
Give
Hisoka
me
and
an
Akane staring at
etiquette
each other
roll.
and just lightning between
Okay.
each other.
Give me an etiquette roll.
I would like to know if I know.
It's just a lightning stare.
Yeah, 24.
And then
You're-
like
you're
the
pretty
chibi
certain
versions of
you're-
the other
you're-
three of us in front having a conversation.
You're pretty certain the popcorn that Hayato is eating was baked in the heat of the stare between Hisoka and Akane.
I like the
I
fact
am
that the popcorn
ignoring
has become canon now. It exists.
little pan of Jiffy Pop. Just waved it in between you guys' faces a couple times.
just like the tea and the popcorn. Where does it come from? Who knows?
Ninja space.
It comes from it comes from like Hayato just opens up his coat and you just see like a line of like tea bags, kettles, and popcorn just like
Perfect.
Yes,
No, I'm ignoring that.
we believe, and this certainly provides a lot of backup for our understanding that Mika is actually a Shadowlands creature.
Ah. Well, yep, it was either that or she's just someone who lures people to their death. So that's very reassuring.
It's the garden variety non-Shadowlands version of that.
Yep.
They exist.
He's a Shadowlands creature. Or a sociopath. But he's a Shadowlands creature.
Or, you know,
I
just
mean,
your standard
sociopaths
killer.
don't automatically get water breathing.
True.
Yeah, I don't know that.
What are you talking about? Every sociopath I've known has been able to breathe underwater indefinitely.
It's right, I can.
Anyway, so I assume we turn around and head north.
Yeah.
Akane does at the very least.
Yes. A very, very uncomfortable walk begins.
I am still on the horse.
Completely disaffected by all of this.
Because, like, hang on, with my willpower increase, how much more possible is it for me to do this? Nope, still not very likely to be able to make a DC 25 willpower roll to not fight something.
That's only when it insults you.
Which I think a hag is very quick to do.
You don't know.
Who
You've never actually
knows?
fought one. You've only seen a dead one. You know what they look like dead.
And I want to see another one dead.
So
Yes, but again, now we're talking about choices.
Okay.
So,
your father appears. No. You all head north into the mountains.
So it sounds like you two are having lovely conversations.
It's almost like
as we go along.
It's almost like learning how to deal with disparate members from different clans as part of this whole trial experience for Hisoka. Anyways, so you all head into the mountains, following the river up until it becomes impossible to follow. And by the time you get to that point, you are in the mountains proper. There's still snow everywhere, but you can see fairly close to the edge of the river is a cave in the mountains.
Would tracking be hunting in this instance or investigation because we're looking for dead grass and stuff?
There's no grass around in the first place. There's underneath the snow is just rocky terrain. But you can give me a hunting or investigation roll, whichever you'd prefer.
I would prefer.
I mean, that
They're
sounds like
basically the
investigation
same,
to
but I'll
me.
go for hunting.
35.
24.
Yes, 6.
They're the exact same for me,
14.
so 21. Damn.
You
Nice.
you don't notice so Ida, you notice nothing. Hayato,
I'm having fun riding a horse.
you notice the cave. Hinata and Akane, you notice scattered bones around the entrance of this cave. And Hisoka, you notice some blood on the wall of the cave that looks like it's fairly fresh.
What do we know of this creature? Akane-sama.
They kill beautiful maidens to wear their skin to deceive others into their traps. They like to infiltrate deep into the Empire to spread the taint of the Shadowlands, and their ultimate goal is to create pockets of Shadowlands from which to spread.
Also, one more thing that I forgot to mention previously. They eat humans.
And human flesh is their preferred meal of choice.
Can they only wear the skins of beautiful maidens?
I don't know. I know that's their favored choice.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
Let approach.
All right, you guys approach.
go stealth.
Give me a. Do you just
Soka's
while
trying to
everyone's
be
in
in
view,
front
or
for this.
are you trying to duck to
No,
the
I'm
back?
basically I'm going to drift to the back and then whoosh.
All right, give me a stealth roll.
Just
As everyone
disappear
else.
with the wind. Just a gust of wind blows by and he's gone.
Getting off
That's
the
a
horse.
six-
and
Yeah, a gust of wind blows by.
Well, not a gust of wind.
God.
A snow
Holy
flurry
crap.
goes by, and you all,
Holy shit!
you with a 64, you all never noticed that Hayato disappeared. As far as you know, he's right behind you still. And
Yeah, he's standing a little further back, not because it's dishonorable, just
Wasn't it
because he
always-
happens to have a bow.
yeah,
Wasn't it
exactly.
always 4 of us?
It was always just 4 of you. As you step into the cave, and of course, except for Hayato, you're being quiet. So, you all move in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question. Are any of you choosing to use the low skill of stealth?
Absolutely not.
No,
No.
but I am staying further towards the back
Yeah.
because I don't want to be between Nakane and the hag, and I don't want to be
Isoka
between
is
nothing and the hag.
specifically trying to be between Akane and the hag.
All right.
Oh, that's gonna be so bad.
So
I mean, that'll be bad for me and you.
you all step into this cave.
Isoka is severely overestimating Kane's restrict.
You all step into the cave, and it seems to be shallow at first, but after a few steps in, as the warmth of the cave begins to overtake you, and you sort of get away from the cold, blistering cold winds and snow flurries of the outside, you have you all find yourselves in a fairly large interior cave with that looks to have piles of bones scattered left and right, and several of you notice instantly this sort of blackened mass of what looks to be pulsating goo and plant life just on the walls.
Do I know this is basically just coagulated Shadowlands taint?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And in the middle of this large place is a massive cauldron filled with bubbling water. There's a fire underneath it going. The water is boiling up. You see bloody mess around it. There's blood on sort of stained into the side of the cauldron, bones scattered left and right. And sort of leaning against the wall on one side near some of this pulsing is what looks to be a bleeding... he's injured. You see blood coming from sort of the top of the middle of the forehead down to the side, like he got hit really hard. A young man that matches the description of one of the more recent victims that you all have been investigating. It looks to be sort of stirring as if he's been laying there for a while. Looks up and sees you all. Help me! And his arms are behind his back as if he's tied, and he's sort of leaning there looking at. Please, it's going to come back.
I'm moving forward to cut him free.
Can I make
To cut
like,
his
an
throat. No, I
insight
mean
or
cut him free.
something?
Sorry, this is the other character.
I'm
What was that?
not moving to stop Hisoka, of course, because he's in charge, but can I make like an insight skill for is this a disguise
Investigation.
kit?
Yeah, give me an
Not
investigation.
disguise kit.
Is it a hag wearing a human skin?
Yes, 22.
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay.
I'm going to go
I
help,
mean,
get him out
Yeah,
as well.
you get over. You cut his hands loose. Yeah, his hands are tied behind him. You cut them loose
Mm-hmm.
without even giving a second thought. He lets go. Sort of puts hands on your shoulders. Thank you. She went that way, and he points, and you can see that there is actually a tunnel going deeper. She ate the others, and you just see this sort of look of terror on his face.
She won't get you. There's a horse outside.
he's sort of just sort of clinging to Hisoka right now, terrified of his life. Like Hisoka is like a rock currently.
Mm-hmm.
There is a horse outside.
I don't trust this.
Neither do I.
Feel free to make investigation rolls.
Yeah.
I will.
Let's see. I
is-
probably don't tell, but let's try.
Do I know that a bog?
I know there's
disguised
not-
as
Yeah,
far as
3. I
reputation goes
believe
is
him.
Nigh impossible to see
Good
through.
God.
God.
No, you don't.
Okay.
So
You've only
does
ever
it-
seen them undisguised.
Does insight checking, which is basically what we're doing,
Yeah.
is that an interrogation emphasis?
Yes, it would be an interrogation
Okay.
emphasis in this case.
24?
You believe this person.
All right.
Yeah.
So-
Connie, this seems like to be a victim.
All right.
And they indicated that the hag was down that tunnel.
Okay. Damn it. Okay. Wait outside. We will handle this.
He just sort of like, don't leave me alone, please.
At this point I look, wait, where's
No one knows.
And just for no reason in particular, Hisoka, give me a willpower roll.
Okay. For no reason in particular,
No reason.
right.
Actually, you know what? Everyone seems to believe him. Hinata will at least move up to see how injured he is.
That's a
You
6.
you do not want to leave this person alone. He is
course I don't.
terrified. He is terrified that he is going to get eaten. You don't think he can even walk right now. Like, he doesn't look like he's all that injured, but you think just like fear paralysis right now.
Okay.
Hinata, you can give me a medicine check.
Because, like, I have a moral obligation to do it anyways, even if I'm still a little nervous.
Yeah.
14.
That doesn't seem to be too terribly injured. It seems more frightened than anything else.
Okay.
There is the wound on the forehead seems to have been suffered from getting hit by something.
Okay. Well.
I'll look at
I'll do what I'm told.
Akane and look at the others. Can go check. Go.
Akane starts moving into the cave. So
Of course. Go down. Yeah.
Hayato has already pushed forward.
Okay.
As soon as it was said she's down that way, more or less, he very slowly began creeping down that direction.
Okay.
I'll sort of look to Kakita-san, just in case she circles back around and manages to come by the entrance.
Here.
I think it would be best not to leave Kisaki-san and a wounded victim alone.
No. That is a good observation. I'll guard the entrance.
Alright, so you head back out towards the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And Hinata and Akane are going down the hallway.
Irie and Akane.
No, Irie just went to guard
just
the
went to the
entrance.
entrance.
Oh, wait.
No, just asked me to guard the entrance.
Okay.
So, Hayato.
And I believe the
Hayato, really quick,
guys.
I actually asked you to guard Hisoka, but we're
Oh.
Well, yeah, but we're right near the entrance.
Yeah, you're not too
anyway.
terribly far
yeah.
from the entrance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or within sight at the very least.
A sound at the very least.
Mhm.
Hayato, you get down, and this cave eventually terminates into what appears to be a dumping ground, and there's just like bits of discarded meat and bone. Probably enough to be about 10 people.
Okay. But I don't see any hag.
Nope.
Okay. and working my way back up.
Meanwhile,
in plain sight at this point.
So Akane.
Actually, no. No. Still sneaking.
Okay, still sneaking. Give me another stealth check.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Hisoka, as you're sort of comforting this person, and
so let me know when I start taking damage.
Yeah, I will.
Only 35 that time.
Only 35. What's your armor, Tien? Hisoka?
Does this count
No
as
reason.
skirmish?
Not yet.
Because I add perception to my armor target number in skirmishes.
You're not yet in a skirmish.
Okay, 20 then.
All right.
You're not prepared for combat.
This is an ambush. So you're sort of looking and you're looking back and forth, waiting to hear something from your allies when you notice the one of the hands grabbing your shoulder. Mm-hmm.
I do need to. No, fuck it. I forgot it.
But if it's your,
I have clear thinker. I should have had an extra die keep 0
on which one?
for attempts to manipulate or deceive.
Oh yeah.
But it's fine. We're well past that point now.
Unless you rolled like a 10 3 times in a row, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yep.
I could have.
You could have.
It could have happened.
Theoretically, could have.
Of course, this is me, so it wouldn't have, but it
Hey.
could have.
You notice that
One of my dice did.
the hand holding your shoulder, the nails are unusually long
Great.
as they sink into your flesh.
Oh, fucker.
And you take 32 points of damage. Sorry, 31 points of damage.
Oh, well, that's much better.
Oh, wow.
As the claws dig into your shoulder.
Ow!
And
I feel
you
like
see-
the claw dug into my shoulder and came out my rib cage.
They definitely came out the back of your shoulder. As you see where that bloody spot on the face was, peels down, and this green-skinned, horrific, bloated visage sort of erupts from the face. I didn't quite have time to finish the disguise.
Do I hear the scream of pain?
Yes, you all hear Hisoka
Okay.
screaming in pain.
I
Yep.
immediately turn around and start running back Blade.
Yeah.
And Hinata's just kind of glad that she, 1, is a very fast runner, and 2, was sort of like edging.
Jeremy-
like, okay, we're going.
Jeremy,
right.
roll me 1d5.
K.
/ roll 1d5.
Why?
Oh, good!
Because of course I rolled a 1.
Oh, I did, but I know what this means.
I don't.
Oh,
So
dear.
can somebody clue me in?
You feel,
So-
in addition to the injury that you have, you feel your strength just fade away as your stamina is reduced by 1.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's not good. That's
the
your Earth Ring.
claws come out. Oh, sorry. Your stamina's not immediately reduced by 1, but you do feel like your strength is starting to ebb away as the claws pull back out.
Yeah, no. That
So things
That
with
would have
filthy
been
claws.
I'm dead.
You're not dead yet. No, you don't lose the stamina point yet.
Okay, good.
And you
So
see,
I still have 7 wounds left before
and you
I'm
see,
dead.
and you see where the claws sank into your shoulder. The skin around it begins to darken and bubble. I also need you to make an Earth Ring roll.
Oh, no.
Of course.
A 7. All right.
7, 2 dice.
I realize this seems like it's making light of the situation, but I want to point out that at least 2, if not 3, of the party is fucked if Hisoka dies.
Sorry, I need information. Anyways, the rest of you hear screaming, and I assume turn around and start running.
Yeah.
You all get there just in time to see the skin falling off of this creature, and a much larger form than you think should have been able to fit into the skin just sort of erupts out of it, standing over a heavily wounded Hisoka.
I'm lunging over to pull off a heal.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative, everybody.
All right. Let's do this.
Do I get a bonus to mine for ambush or what?
No, because you're not ambushing this guy.
Okay.
They don't know you're there, but they know other people are there.
Gotcha.
What the fuck?
25.
37.
Apparently, I'm going on 42.
Why am I going last now of all time?
Wow.
I am apparently motivated to
Nice.
fight for my life.
25.
All right. So,
Hayato and I are going on the same initiative.
Hisoka,
Uh-huh.
you're up first.
Okay.
What's your stance? Show me a stance.
What stance are you picking?
I feel like full defense is probably a good idea.
Full defense seems appropriate.
Is that
Akane,
the running the fuck away one?
Akane and... Sorry, Airi, what's your stance? Center.
Oh, he's nearly dead. Full charge ahead.
Full attack.
Full attack.
All right, Akane
Yep.
and Hayato, what are your stances?
Full attack.
Full attack.
All right, and Hinata, what's your stance?
Defense doesn't... Non-full defense doesn't penalize your movement, correct?
Correct. You can still move.
Defense.
All right. Hisoka, your turn first.
I am in full defense. There is basically nothing I can do.
I think you can roll you can make a defensive roll if you have the skill. Let me look at it real quick. Full defense is the ring of earth reserved for unmoving and unassailable. Upon declining stance, full defense adds make a defense roll,
Okay.
which is the defense skill plus your reflexes.
Defense.
It's under Bugei skills.
Yeah, I know. 34.
So add half of that rounded up to your armor TN.
Okay.
17.
Does the fact that I'm at plus 20 to my TNs at the moment have any factor in that?
No, because this is not a TN you're trying to hit. This is what you're adding
Okay.
to your armor TN.
You add 17 to your armor TN.
Okay.
So whatever your armor is,
Fortunately, you're not penalized in defending for being wounded.
correct. Also, it's not a roll to hit something. That's the penalty is for
But
if you're trying to roll at a TN.
that's- From a physics and biological standpoint, that makes no sense. But okay.
Yep.
No.
But it's good. But it's good anyway.
Yeah, mechanically, it's just
Look,
because
we're
you're
trying
not
to keep you alive.
you're not trying to hit a target number. You're increasing your own target number. Which
No,
is why
I
it
get
doesn't
it.
apply.
I'm just saying, yeah.
So that makes it Airi's turn.
Yes. Attacking. Sorry, I have to look at full attack. Okay. Plus 2k1?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry. So attacking for something. 28.
28 will hit.
Sweet. And does 15 points of damage.
All right. Now it is Akane and Hayato's turn.
All right. I want this thing's head.
Called shot beheading.
Does this thing look like it has like a whole bunch of armor on underneath all the skin?
You can't really tell. It's kind of gross.
Okay.
It is
gonna-
wearing clothes under the skin, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense physics-like either, but...
None of this makes sense.
I'm just going to take a single raise for extra damage.
All right.
So that's going to be with my extra from full attack. 48!
That hits.
Nice.
As you roll 12, 12, 12, 12.
Sheesh.
Yep, that
Okay,
hits.
hang on. What is extra? Hang on, let me check and make sure I know what extra damage gives me. I think it's just an extra...
Extra
Keep
1,
one?
keep 1. I think it's extra 1, keep 1.
maneuvers.
Yeah, it's in maneuvers.
Extra increased damage is 1 keep 0.
Extra 1, keep 0. Under damage.
30.
So yeah, this first Idri comes in and slices up, hitting the creature in the flesh bag that it's still wearing, slicing the human flesh off of it. And then Akane comes in after and smashes with the machete, which sort of makes it leave its feet a little bit and slide back into the wall, into the muck of Shadowland's taint on the wall. And it just sort of... Now it's all the way out of the skin, and you see this... horrifying, bloated. It looks like a corpse that died of drowning, basically, that has stood up out of the skin of this young man.
Of course it does.
Monstrously ugly with sharp, jagged teeth and claws. Yeah, no, it's not a fun looking thing. And Hayato.
Okay. Let me see what I've got to do here.
Take its head off. Finish it before it gets to move again.
How many raises to take something's head off?
That's a called shot to behead. Is 2 raises.
2 raises. And I've got an extra 2k1.
Actually, the head is 3 raises.
His head is 3 raises. Oh, there you go. 3 raises.
Okay, 3 raises. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to pull that off probably, and I do not want to miss with this.
Just kill it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a straight attack then. Hang on a second. I need to look one thing up. Okay. And he's going to use he's definitely going to utilize Yukigiri on this one.
Good. So, Hayato appears to all of you for the first time, drawing a katana off of his side, and the blade of this weapon appears fairly ornate. Definitely not a standard katana, and the metal of it seems to have sort of a sheen to it as he draws and goes for an attack.
That's a 50?
50 hits. You should have taken those raises.
I should have taken those raises. Oh well. And 25 damage.
And just as he comes in and slices with this very magnificent looking blade.
Which then immediately vanishes.
All right, its turn. Well, fortunately, it's been moved away from Hisoka, so.
I know, but.
And so it reaches out to try to latch onto Hayato, because Hayato is a pretty boy.
Yes, I am. All right. I took full attack, so that means my armor is currently at 13.
It hits you.
Yeah.
I figured it probably would.
And you take 10 points of damage.
I mean, I actually have the dangerous beauty advantage.
Both of you do.
You're a pretty girl.
You're a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And you also have way better armor than I do.
There's
fair.
that too. And I need you to roll me a 1d5, Jack. Or yeah.
God damn it, me too.
And as these,
Okay, somebody explain to me what this means.
as
So when
this
a lion eats things, it uses its claws, and those claws tend to catch rotten meat and shit underneath them. So when it attacks something else, that thing catches diseases and infection from the dirt underneath the claws. And I'm guessing this hag probably has something similar.
as the rot-encrusted claws of this creature slices through Hayato's robes and into his chest. What it means, Jeremy, is it's something that the DM knows that you don't know until somebody makes a check.
I understand. It was just that everybody else seemed to know.
No, I just assume it's terrible.
I just assume it's terrible whenever I make you roll dice.
Uh-huh.
Rolling a 1 is never a good thing.
Yeah.
And as this claw mark slices through your chest, where it slices through, your skin begins to blacken and boils appear as you feel your strength ebbing from the attack.
Yeah, it's the same thing that I can do, but involuntary. I'm guessing, mostly because I have that ability.
That makes it Hinata's turn.
Not to be an ass, but does he need to make an earth roll?
Oh yeah, you do need to make an earth roll.
Oh, okay. Just earth ring flat.
Earth ring flat.
That's an 8.
All right.
Everybody's Shadowlands tainted, except we have Jade.
You do.
Because I was paranoid.
You do.
I can fix one of these things. Two of these things. Sort of. Maybe.
Hinata.
So sorry, I have priorities. So Hinata will quite hurriedly but unperturbed head over to currently dying fiance. Let's see how much we can fix that. And will genuinely try my best. I'm going to put the whole text of Path of Inner Peace in the chat, just so there is no confusion. Water healing. So that is 21 points back for Hisoka.
Okay.
Also,
I know it's not a lot, but
yeah. Does that cure diseases, or does it just heal wounds?
Unfortunately, like reading the description, it seems to primarily target wound thresholds. The one that typically would cure most diseases, I'll put in chat, and you can decide which of those is applicable.
I think it's the one that specifically cures disease. The one that'll work. Or thing
Yeah.
I just put both in chat so you can make the determination for yourself. I'm guessing I will have to use an earth spell to do that.
Potentially.
Which...
Although that wouldn't work either, because that's poisons.
You know what? There's...
Well, we'll worry about it later. You heal Hisoka for 31.
31 or 21?
Oh, sorry, 21, because it's how much you beat the TN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 21. No, I understand how my healing spells work. It's just sometimes I don't know what effects you're under that I need to heal up.
Yeah, no, you heal for 21 of your wounds.
Okay.
As Hinata runs over, lays a healing scroll on you, and that gash in your shoulder begins to stitch itself back together. You notice that the blackened skin remains, though, and some boils have appear to have started appearing around the wound site, which makes it top of the round. Hisoka.
Okay.
I will, I guess, go attack, stance, and attack.
Okay. You get up, head towards them. What weapon are you using?
Probably whichever one. I'm gonna honestly say probably the Oxy, because that's what he's most used to, and he's more operating on instinct at the moment.
Okay.
19.
A 19 misses as it shifts to put Hayato in its way, in your way, which causes you to pull back before you hit.
Okay.
All right, that makes it Irie.
Well, I don't like this thing, and it's not attacking me, so full attack again.
All right.
And that was so many rules. 2K1 to that.
And I haven't broken a promise.
He's still trying.
I should have taken raises. 42.
We're gonna have a
I assume hits.
conversation about not
I should take
dying.
raises
Yes,
at some
a 42
point.
does hit.
I should have taken a raise. Oh well, too late. 18 points of damage.
All right. And that makes it Akane and Hayata's turn.
All right.
Attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that extra raise for increased damage again.
All right.
21.
Misses. You
Damn.
you rear back and slam down with that machete. This time it's seen you do it before, and so it dodges to the side, and you into the wall.
Hopefully, I gave it the opening for Hayato to finish it.
Hayato?
All right. So as I understand it, my armor reduction is a subtraction from the number of wounds I received from its attack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm at 9 wounds, which means I have not made it up into anything that increases my target number yet.
Correct.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to full attack this thing as well, again, because fuck this one. And I will take 1 raise for extra damage.
All right.
27.
1 raise. Still hits. So
Awesome.
you get one keep 0 additional on the damage.
Okay. $23.
All right. And with that, what weapon is this?
Still,
So yeah, this
Yukigari.
very ethereal looking blade slices out, and Hayato pulls the blade out, flips it around, gets it into a reverse grip, and just stabs down into the neck and chest of this creature, spearing through it, and it just sort of cries out in pain and collapses down as Hayato pulls the blade back out and very quickly wipes the blood off of it.
I like to think that it dodged out of my attack into his.
Yeah.
Yep.
As it collapses to the ground.
Shake the blade off, sheath, wrap it in the cloak, nod to Akane. Well done.
I sort of, I just kind of take my cleaver and just with my hand on the back of it for extra force, just slam it into the thing's stomach, and then I look up at Hisoka, and not even a trace of humor. You wanted to talk to it?
And as Akane says that, Hayato, both you and Hisoka both feel this as something feels wrong. And Hayato, you lose the strength to stand momentarily, drop down to your knees. And as both of you just feel weak, that is where we're going to end it for this week.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.